tell me what your name is and what your position is?
My name is Francisca Sánchez, and in July I retired from a position with the school district. So now I've been working on my own with CABE, doing some work with them. I'm also launching a new business called Provocative Practice. And at CABE here, we pre-released a new book.
So tell me about that book.
It's called When I Dream. It's a bilingual book. My son Nicolas did the illustrations. And it's really a message about how we can move forward a vision for our children. So how we're able to wish the best for them across many generations.
So the book is bilingual, right?
Yes.
So why was there that need for that book to be bilingual?
I just felt strongly that I wanted to do it in two languages. I don't think all books need to be bilingual, but in this case it seemed like it was appropriate. It was going to be published as a partnership with CABE and with Velasquez Press, so it seemed appropriate to be able to do it so that it'd be open to a bilingual audience, which is really the audience that CABE serves.
Yeah, so bilingualism is important and it's a big part of CABE. It's CABE, right? So can you share with us maybe a personal experience where you felt that being bilingual has been important and valuable to you?
I can share one of the first experiences that I remember that pointed out to me how important it is to be bilingual. And it was when I started school in first grade, and that first day, I don't think I had realized until then that the language I spoke, which was Spanish, was not actually the language that everybody spoke. And that first day at school, I didn't understand anything that was happening. I couldn't understand the teacher. And it was only because another little girl next to me sort of translated the instructions for what we were supposed to do that I was able to try to attempt some of the work. But it was a really devastating experience. And for probably 2 years after that, I just really have sort of an amnesia. I don't have memories of what was going on. I'm sure I was struggling to learn English, but until I'd stepped into that classroom, I didn't feel like I was less than. I learned to read in Spanish, was able to communicate in my small setting. And so I think that's a good example of how had it been a setting where both languages were accepted, I could have had a very different experience, at least initially in school. I think that's still the case for a lot of our students.
So, can you share with us a little bit why you think CABE is important in education?
CABE is an organization that serves not only an advocacy function. We advocate on behalf of English learners and their families and their communities, and we do that because they need advocates, because we're living in a society where those students and those families still are not valued as they should be. So CABE serves that advocacy function, but it also is an organization that has a tremendous amount of expertise and knowledge in a time when schools and districts are still struggling with how to effectively educate English learners. Not just so that they do well in school, but so that they can have full, productive lives outside of school with their families and their communities so they can contribute. I think that CABE does that work. And part of our goal this year and moving forward is to be able to bring CABE more to the front, to really position it in a way that schools and districts and communities will recognize it for the expertise that it has.
All that knowledge and all that potential to share, and so much information, and it needs to spread out, right? It needs to be shared and put into action. So is there anything else that you would like to share, anything else that you would like to talk about?
I think I'd just like to give the message that it's so important to support our students and our parents in maintaining their bilingualism and acquiring multilingualism. We're so focused in California on bilingualism, but in fact the world has moved on. Maybe it was always there, that it's multilingualism. That's the minimum standard now. And we know that across the world, countries are educating their children to be high-level multilinguals. And in a global economy, the United States children will compete with children across the world. And so we have to really move and make sure that minimally our children graduate from school multilingual in 3 languages. So I think CABE can be a force in helping that
Changing
happen.
that mentality that we need to move on.
Right.
All right, well, thank you so much for sharing those words, and I'm excited for you and your blog, and I hope that you enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.